All of you are aware that in the last couple of days, there have been some very deep inquiries and commentaries about the fate or the situation regarding the minors that you saw towards the end of last week, the ones that have been arrested by the Nigerian police and that were undergoing some legal processes. You also saw what happened in the courtroom, and as a result of that, Mr. President, because of his very deep commitment to democracy and the rule of law, and without prejudice also to whatever legal processes there are. On the other hand, the human side, the human part of it, has directed that some announcements be made. I recall that I had a short briefing with Mr. President early this evening, and he has directed the immediate release of all the minors that have been arrested by the Nigerian police without prejudice to whatever legal processes there are. All minors, the President has directed that all of them be released immediately. Second, the President has also directed the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction to immediately see to the welfare of those minors and also take part to ensure their smooth reunion with their parents or guardians wherever they are in the country. Number three, the President has directed that a committee will be set up immediately to be headed by the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs. It's actually an administrative committee to look at all issues surrounding the arrest, detention, the treatment, and finally the release of these young minors. Fourthly, the President has also directed that all the law enforcement agents involved in the arrest and the legal processes will be investigated, and if there are any infractions found to have been committed by any official of government, be him a law enforcement agency or whoever that person may be, appropriate disciplinary action will be taken against him or her. So to recap, the President has directed that these children, these minors, be released immediately. This is, of course, without prejudice to whatever legal processes there are. Of course, if you look at this issue, there is the legal side of it, but there is also the human angle, the humanitarian side of it. Mr. President has directed that whatever the circumstances are, let the minors be released. They can, of course, continue whatever process there are, if indeed there are, as stipulated by our laws. But the minors, the President has directed that all of them be released. To recap, the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs has been directed by the President to ensure that they have safe return and reunion to their family members. And like I said earlier, if there are any infractions being committed by any law enforcement officer or any official of government, a disciplinary action will be taken against such person.